Okay. Successfully on. Joan should be up in a minute.
Well, who is planned to leave this week?
Motion.
Who is excuse me, supposed to lead today?
Oh, for what?
Who is,
John,
oh,
and the new member, if we have them in there, children of the Torah. Judy at the end.
so we really didn't have a leader.
No. No, Joan's been studying. She's all ready to leave as soon as she comes up.
Right. But people might not come if they need Max. You know, everybody knows it's always Peter, and it was a good question whether Max would be recovered. I wonder.
Well, he probably possibly could, but
Unlike idiots, that's what I thought, and so I thought, well, I'll go down and see what happens, and I thought there must be something, so it was.
I'm actually thinking still on a liquid diet and all that kind of thing.
Sure, yeah, no, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, if you got the air conditioning.
It feels good, it's starting.
It'll take a while because it was really boiling in here when I came up and turned it on.
Oh, yeah, it was, but now I can feel it.
Yeah. I even turned it on at home.
My goodness, that is a surprise.
Goodness gracious.
I had my fan on, aimed at me last night as I slept.
Yeah, we also have a kitchen fan and the ceiling that we turn on.
Those are very good.
Yeah. One trouble is we forget to turn it off because it doesn't make any perceptible noise. And so we didn't remember to look up. It's going to be very interesting these next couple of weeks. Trump said he's issued an executive order that goes against what the Supreme Court said.
Right.
You know, that what takes,
What for this time?
About the citizenship question.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it really is an unprecedented thing, the president versus the Supreme Court, will he obey it? He may not, he may come out and say it's a co-equal branch, I'm sure that's gonna be his argument.
He's got everybody expecting that he's not going to do anything anymore, and that's like his first accomplishment in his non-government. It's like the first real chipping away of, this thing's.
Well, there's more than chipping away if he claims his executive order overrides the Supreme Court ruling.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if you're thinking dictatorship is is a plan, and he's gotta go a step at a time, and
It really
of course
is.
it is, but,
You know, with that July 4th thing, he really does look like Mussolini. You see Mussolini speaking, they're saying for a heavy guy,
oh, really,
you know, the
I
military,
haven't seen films of
big
him, I know of.
big emphasis on military.
Right. And I think he enjoys doing those things
Oh,
because
yeah.
he knows the educated classes understand.
I know.
Mussolini. I mean, he just thinks he's really playing all kinds of
He loves it. He gets headlines every day.
It's just, I get upset and angry, and so I have to, just going to talk about Trump, I turn it off for a while, because I don't want to be played like a,
You know what it costs to run one of those jet planes that went over?
oh, I can't imagine, just.
I think you get like the B-2 bomber that went over.
Maybe American.
You know what it costs per hour to run? $120,000.
Yeah.
That's a lot of toothbrushes and bars of soap.
Right.
You know, the kids.
Right.
And they have all the other
And
planes.
all the other things that they're not providing, it's, it's this period in our history.
Oh, and sort of that sort of very apropos, Venezuela celebrated its National Day yesterday, July 5th. You know, the military parades.
Sure. And the people that voted for him have no understanding because they had no understanding of history.
You have not been in the times that something like 60% of Republicans would approve of a law that would make newspaper reporting that's defamatory of the president or false, in quotes, illegal. They want to do away with the First Amendment.
Right.
And about almost half would want a law passed that we're a Christian nation. They have no understanding of the freedoms. And the First Amendment will never get passed now.
And people don't understand it. He's been a demolition president. It's just, it's not even subtle. But
The laws to change so that newspapers can be sued more easily for defamatory news.
well, he says a lot of things, but
I know, but
it's
still,
not gonna
it's
happen, hopefully.
just to say it.
But that's where he wants his base to hear him say those things and make them think that he has that much control against the people that they fear, because that's what he's told them. You should fear those people, and they do. I mean, when people start calling them like Hillary Clinton or deplorables, I mean, she's just fanning the flames for those people.
What she said was inexcusable, but she said it, she didn't mean to make it public. She said it in sort of a private conversation. It was reported, but what she said was terrible.
Right.
She said
But-
stupid.
Right, and so that's what they think people who are educated think, and so they're never going to believe it.
That's the Rebbe.
Is the TV on?
Yes, I turned it on.
I forget.
And people are watching?
Listening to.
Hi! Where does that one come from?
Is it turn on both lights? No more than 10, 15 seconds.
Oh, this is a late setter. This setter has a ton of, this is Cora.
Oh,
Where?
what? Oh,
the earthquake happens.
But it was just very big.
That's right, yes. That's one of the commentaries that I read, said what Korach and his 250 people were standing. That's the only place that had an earthquake.
Happens.
Oh, I can feel the air. That's good.
Ready for lunch?
Lunch is not ready.
Is Cameron here?
Yes. And for at least the time being, he's working at, Parthenon on the weekends. Apparently they're one of their chefs quit. And he's trying to change that because he doesn't want to work on weekends this summer before college.
Who else said they were coming?
Well, Judy's reading, so she'll be. Bonnie's sick. Andrea's on the Cape. I don't know. We could have a lovely lunch.
Big person.
Okay.
Too good.
Steve Levin said he might be here. And Steve Levine, if he's in town, will probably be here. No, that's not right. We don't have an order for the Shabbat service, do we? Thought we did. Shabbat. Morning service.
It's on page 60 or 61.
Yeah, that's fine. You wanna do it?
Page 261 is my total.
Right. Okay, 61. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov mishkanotecha Yisrael. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov mishkanotecha Yisrael. How lovely are your dwellings, people of Jacob, your sanctuaries, descendants of Israel. As for me, O God, your great love inspires me to enter your house, to worship in your holy sanctuary, filled with awe for you. Adonai, I love your house, the place of your glory. Before my Maker, I humbly bow and worship. May this be an auspicious time, Adonai, for my prayer. Your love, O God, is great. Answer me with your true deliverance. That's beautiful. I've never read that in English. Okay, honey, what's the next step?
65.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan l'sechli binah l'havdin ben yom u'ben layla.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai melech haolam sha'asni b'tzalmu. Do you want to do this in English?
Sure.
How about taking turns? So I'll start. And,
Adonai melech haolam,
oh, you can do it in Hebrew.
making me a Jew.
All right. Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who rules the universe, making me free.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Praise be Adonai, our God, who is giving sight to the blind.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who rules the universe. Oh, we're saying that twice. Clothing the naked.
Baruch Adonai melech haolam, who releases the bound.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, whose universe based on the downtrodden.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who rules the universe, creating the heavens and the earth.
Baruch Adonai melech haolam, who provides for all my needs.
Guiding us on our path. Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, strengthening the people Israel with courage. Amen.
Baruch Adonai melech haolam, crowning the people of Israel with glory.
Restoring vigor to the
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, anotein laya'ef koach. Amen.
Then we usually do the week, 5 lines up, 6 lines, and we find grace. Bottom of page 65. Here we find
And grace, love, and compassion in your sight and in the sight of all who look upon us,
this day,
and every
every
day.
day.
Grant us a full measure of loving kindness. Praised are you, Adonai, who bestows loving kindness upon his people.
God, the people of Israel.
What's next?
72, Psalm for Shabbat. Here is more, Shalom, Shabbat.
Oh, I don't know the tune for this. Do you? Okay, we can do it in English. Responsibly. It is good to acclaim Adonai, to sing your praise, exalted God.
To affirm your love each morning and faithfulness each night. To the music of the lute and melody of the harp.
Your works, Adonai, make me glad. I sing with joy of your creation.
How vast your works are, Lord. Your designs are beyond our grasp.
The thoughtless cannot comprehend, the foolish cannot fathom this.
The wicked may flourish, springing up like grass, but their doom is sealed. For you are supreme forever.
Your enemies, Adonai, your enemies shall perish, all the wicked shall crumble.
Me you have greatly exalted. I am anointed with fragrant oil. I have seen the downfall of my foes. I have heard the despair of my attackers.
The righteous shall flourish like the palm tree. They shall grow tall like the cedar in Lebanon. Planted in the house of Adonai, they will thrive in the courts of our God.
They shall bear fruit even in old age. They shall be ever fresh and fragrant to proclaim Adonai is just, like a rock in whom there is no fall.
4 lines from the bottom.
Shooting.
4 lines from the bottom on page 72, the Hebrew side. Tzadika tamar vivra kierve banon yiske shetuli bebeit Adonai V'chasrot Eloheinu yafrichu O Yenuvun b'seva D'sheni v'ranani Yihuyu l'hadaki Ki asar Adonai Suri V'lo azlatavo.
Page 81, both services can continue here. He is Lord, our God.
Abayit LeDavid. Okay, let's do. We can do this one also, responsively. I extol you, Adonai. You raised me up. You did not permit foes to rejoice over me.
Adonai, I cried out, you healed me. You saved me from the pit of death.
Sing to Adonai, you faithful. Acclaim God's holiness.
God's anger lasts a moment. Divine love is lifelong. Tears may linger for a night. Joy comes with the dawn.
While at ease, I once thought nothing can shake my security. Favor me, and I am a mountain of strength. Hide your face, Adonai, and I am terrified.
To you I know where I call, before the eternal right be.
What profit is there if I am silenced? What benefit if I go to my grave? Will the dust praise you? Will it proclaim your faithfulness? You transform my mourning into dancing, my sackcloth into robes of joy, that I might sing your praises unceasingly, that I might thank you, Adonai, my God, forever. Adonai Elohai La'olam Odech.
Page 83 is Baruch Shamar.
Baruch she'amar v'haya ha'olam. Baruch hu, Baruch oseh v'reishit. Baruch omer ve'oseh. Baruch gozer u'mekayem. Baruch merachem al haaretz. Baruch merachem al habriot. Baruch mishalem sacharto l'reav. Baruch chai v'ad v'kayam lanetzach. Baruch podeh u'matzil. Baruch Shemo. If you want to do English or Hebrew at some point, just speak up.
Or probably want to move ahead with
One,
10:30.
yeah, where should we be?
I don't know. Visual activity.
We're still in Kitsuke Bisuma. But that, we're not in a hurry. What's the next thing? You're the page caller, Michael, so give us a page.
I know you skipped ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Skip to Baruch. These are all Psalms.
We do one
Some-
hallelujah on page 91.
Excuse me?
We do a hallelujah in 91.
91.
I want to have enough time for your cyber discussion.
Hallelujah, Shema, hallelujah. I don't know, it's the tune for this.
Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Yeah. Hallelujah.
I don't know if it's that page, I think I've seen it.
I know, 101, but that's probably
97.
way back. Let's see, where it's 101. 101?
If you read it in English.
John, 96, that's great.
Do we do Ashrei before the Torah reading?
We do this one and do it again.
Shabbat Shalom.
Double that kind
Brave souls. She came back. Shabbat shalom. Everybody move through.
Is Cindy coming down? Or-
She is, but I don't know what time. So you do, I'm usually in the kitchen, that's why I don't know what.
Yeah, you know, I say you say this and oh, you hallelujah.
Ashrei ha'am shekachalo, Ashrei ha'am shadai Eloha, Tehillah l'David. Honey, V'chol yom arachecha, v'hala shimcha l'olam va'ed.
What page is this?
We're on 896.
896?
No, just 96, 96. Yeah, Gadol Adonai.
Gadol Adonai, Hula Ma'od, L'Gidulato, Ein Cheker.
Dor ledor yeshavach ma'asecha, urotecha yahidu,
Hadarka V'Hodecha, V'Divrei Niflotecha, Asicha.
ve'ezuz nerotecha yameru, udu'atecha asaprena,
Zecher up to V'Chayabiu, V'Tikatecha Yiranenu.
anu brachon Adonai, erech apayim udachased,
Adonai Lako, Rachama V'Kom Asav.
yotucha Adonai kol ma'asecha, v'chasidecha yichakucha,
Kavod Malchutcha Yomenu, V'Kuratcha Yidabenu.
v'hotia v'nei badam,
V'Rata.
v'torah hadar malchuto,
Malchutovami, V'Menshaltecha V'Chod Rador.
Someach Adonai l'chol hanavlim, v'zakech l'chol hafufim,
Enecha
Potea ket yadecha umaksiva yahochai ratzon. Karo v'nagayach emet. Shomer Adonai kol harav v'yikom nefsham yashiv. V'anachnu nevarecha me'ata v'yad olam. Hallelujah. Toda rabah. Okay, well, what's next? Michael is our bookkeeper. Yeah.
Let me see.
If we
You
pass,
guys dozed off by this time.
if we pass one that anybody wants to do, just
You
please.
sing on page 100, Hallelujah in the middle.
Yeah,
The one, I don't know the tune at the beginning, I know the tune at the square, at the box. Do you know the beginning?
No.
Okay,
But I
and which tune do you use? Hallelujah, hallelujah, do you use that one, or? Will Soleil Shama, hallelujah, hallelujah, B'tzil Soleil Trua. Kanishmat hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. That's the symbol.
on 104, Nishma.
At the top, Nishmat. How about English? Everybody together. The breath of all that lives praises you, Adonai our God. The force that drives all flesh exalts you, our sovereign, always. Transcending space and time, you are God. Without you, we have no one to rescue and redeem us, to save and sustain us, to show us mercy in disaster and distress. Ruler of all ages, God of all creatures, endlessly extolled. You guide the world with kindness, its creatures with compassion. Adonai, who neither slumbers nor sleeps, you stir the sleeping, give voice to the speechless, free the fettered, support the fallen, and raise those bowed down. You alone do we acknowledge.
From Egypt you redeemed us, from the house of bondage you delivered us. In famine you nourished us, in prosperity you sustained us.
Rescued us from the sword, protected us from pestilence, and saved us from severe and lingering disease. To this day your compassion has sustained us, your kindness has not forsaken us, never abandon us, Adonai our God.
On page 105, Shofar,
Skip the page, let's start to do that, so.
about 3/5 of the way down.
Shochenah, Marom, V'Kadash Shemo,
Tzadikim Vadonai, Vayasharim Navatilam, V'ti Yisharim Tikhalam, V'divrei Tzadikim Tikvarach, V'Hashem Chasidim Tikramah, V'V'Keret Kedoshim, Yitavanash. May I teach you a little tune?
Yeah.
Okay, so the second line after V'Chatuv goes, Ranu, Ranu, Tzadikim, hey, Ranu, Ranu, Tzadikim, hey, Ranu, Ranu, Tzadikim, Yisharim Navatilam, everybody singing Ranu, Ranu, Tzadikim, Ranu, Ranu,
Tzadikim,
Ranu, Ranu,
Tzadikim, Yisharim Navatilam. Nice.
That's good.
And remember that next week, it's a good one.
On 106, it's about,
Kaddish.
right where you do the top.
At the top. Oh, Yishtabach Simcha. Yishtabach Simcha Lad Malkeinu. You shall ever be praised in heaven and on earth, our sovereign, the great and holy God. Songs of praise and psalms of adoration become you. Adonai, our God and God of our ancestors. Praise that acknowledge your grandeur, your glory, your might, your magnificence, your strength, your sanctity, and your sovereignty. Now and forever, acclaim and honor are yours. Praised are you, Adonai, sovereign of wonders, crowned with adoration, delighting in our songs and psalms, exalted ruler, eternal life of the universe.
And 107, the second paragraph.
107, the Baruch.
You do work?
Can you do Baruch without a minion?
Oh, 107, we don't do the,
You do the
we don't
paragraph,
do the top, we saw it there.
you start
And the second paragraph, I think you usually do it silently.
where it says on Shabbat, all creatures praise.
Yes,
So you do it silently?
yeah, most of the time.
Okay.
And then on 108, Hail Adon,
El Adon, Al-Kol HaMasi, Baruch U'Vorah, Lefi Kol Yishma. Do you have a better tune than this? To go, Ale Olam Da, Tuna, Sabani Moto, Malika, Achayim Kodesh, Benem, Tavo, Chavo, Leave Kisa. Aseh Rahami Mekavo Tofi Roro Shivara Hain Sarah Rama Kowa Hukima Natan Mahen Mashmi Karate Bel Kim no ga never ziram the whole olam Shreya Satan Shasi Ro Osi me marison konam. Poem no team Vishnu Sarvanano Mabuto Karashemesh Vazirahor Raavati Soravana Sheva no Nimo Koma Maro Tiferet Dura Sarvini Meofani Vayakot HaKodesh.
On page 110, where it says all services continue here. Seems like a good spot. Tisparaj.
How about on the English side together? Our rock, our redeemer, our sovereign, creator of holy beings. You shall be praised forever. You fashion angelic spirits to serve you. Beyond the heavens, they all await your command. In chorus, they reverently chant words of the living God, the eternal sovereign, adoring, beloved, and choice are they all, in awe fulfilling their Creator's will. In purity and sanctity, they raise their voices in song and psalm, praising, extolling, and exalting, declaring the power, holiness, and majesty of God, the great, mighty, awesome sovereign, the Holy One. One to another they vow loyalty to God's sovereignty. One with another they join to hallow their Creator with serenity, pure speech, and sacred song, in unison chanting, Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tsevaot, Melech haaretz Kavodo. Yes, holy, 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 Adonai Tsevaot. The grandeur of the world is God's glory. As in the prophet's vision, soaring celestial creatures exclaim, responding with a chorus of adoration. Baruch Kavod Adonai Mikomo. Praised is the glory of Adonai throughout the universe.
On the bottom of Okara, Shaltium,
Where is this?
the bottom of 110,
One
at the bottom.
Hadash Altion Tadir Veniske Kulanu Hadash Altion Tadir Veniske Kulanu Vehera Oro Veniske Kulanu Vehera Baruch atah Yotzer Hamorot. Ahava Rabbah Ahavtai. Is there a tune for the top part of 111? And Bahadim Shalom or Ba. I don't think
We
so.
sing this.
You do sing that?
We sing this in our tikva.
Shalom, me'arbakan fotanes, tolinu kumemiut, kumemiut le'artsein, ki el po'el yishuakata, Unanu lachata v'kol v'keirabtanu lishmat gadol sela be'emet v'hodatecha u'yadecha b'yama Baruch atah Adonai, Elohim Yisrael, Yahava. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves the people of Israel. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Echad. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol ma'odecha v'hayu ha'devarim ha'ele asher Anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha V'shinantam levanecha v'dibartam v'shivtecha v'beitecha u'v'rechtecha b'derech u'v'shachtecha u'v'kumecha u'p'katcha al yadecha v'hayu l'totafot mein einecha u'chetavtam Al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha v'hayayu Shema. Adonai Elohim Emet. Page 114 at the top. Ezrat Avotenu Atahu Me'olam. Oh, if that's Cindy, she can finish this for us, maybe. The first paragraph, the 8th line from the bottom of the paragraph, Al Zot. But I'm not sure that I can. Cindy, can you read Al Zot? Al Zot. Al Zot.
Sorry.
Judy, do you know that one?
We can go right into being Kamocha.
Okay. I thought it would be fun, but I can't, now that I'm starting it, I can't remember it.
Oh,
So,
we can do it together.
she That's why I'm losing it. It's a call and response if we do it right.
Yeah.
So it's not hard, but we're not doing it right.
Okay, let me get my glasses on. Oh, we all, sorry.
So if you think you can do the call, I can, page 114.
114.
About 1, 2, 3.
Oh, so she holy, so holy.
Roman
move,
Roman move.
Roman move.
No, we're not getting it. Okay. We'll go to
Yeah, I could do it with him mostly because he
Yeah,
does such a
yeah.
good job leading us. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if he went over it, I would be able to repeat the whole thing.
Zot,
All
zot,
all
zot,
Shibahu
Ahovim,
Shibahu
Ahovim,
Roman
Roman move,
the
Roman move, Roman move, Roman move, Roman move, Roman move, Roman move, the not new
the not New Year Dee,
the not new
She wrote the Tishbechot.
Shmi wrote, she wrote the Tishbechot. Berachot v'hodaot El Chai v'chayam
Ram Vanisa,
Ram v'nisa
Gadol,
Gadol v'norah
Mamash Pilka, Umenaviha
Shefalim Mashil Gaim Umebea Shaflim Moshe
Asorim,
Motzi Asorim Sirim
Ufode,
Unari Anari Upode Anari Be'ozer Dili Viva Onela Amo 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 Israel Ba'ed Sha'uam Elav. Well, we've got bits and pieces of it.
Yeah, we can go right to Mechamocha.
Okay. Michamocha Be'elima Jonai Michamocha V'nedara Kodesh Rocky load, O Zebelen. Shirakadashash Kugoli, Ishmaha Shafat Hayam, Yachad Kulam Hodu, Hamilu Vaimru. Adonai lo leolam ba'ed, Sur Yisrael, Kuma v'Ezra Yisrael, Ute umecha Yehuda v'Yisrael, Go aleinu Adonai Sebot Shemo, Kadosh Yisrael, Baruch Adonai Gam Yisrael. Page 115B, silent immediate.
One thirty-eight. Are you Couch?
And no, we don't have numbers.
Oh, I thought you said Couch Shulman was.
Oh.
No, we don't. Okay.
No, that's
So. Can we talk about the parsha anymore?
Oh, we do more than that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I have been told since I became the president that I have the ability to do anything I want.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I've been told.
Sky's the limit.
More than once, when the rabbi turns to me and says, "You're the president, you can decide." So, already contemplating the fact that we might not have a minyan today because it is the 6th of July and more than half of our congregation is at the Cape in the mountains or in France, actually. So I made the decision that we would follow, if there was someone who was willing to read Torah from the Chumash, and that we would follow what we do for the weekday minyan when we don't have a minyan. And that is, we do not take out the Torah, but we do read whatever people have prepared as part of the reading for the Torah. So that's what I would like to do today, if everyone here is okay with that. And Judy has worked hard to do this, and not only that, she chants it. So it's a real treat for us. And so for those of you in the Chumash, it's on page 869, verse 25, which is the last two verses of chapter 17.
Was that on 8:16?
869 is the page, and verse 25 of chapter 17 is the verse.
Before I do this, I want to apologize. I did not work hard on it. My other daughter and her family were there,
Oh, lovely.
and I just didn't get to do a whole lot with it. Plus, I lost my reading glasses.
Okay.
So I'll do the best I can, but I'm not. Okay, so it starts on 25. I thought it
Why
started
don't you
on
come up to
27.
the mic?
Is somebody having
Are you on verse 27?
27, I thought it was.
Okay, you might be right. It could be
Is somebody having
27.
a Leah?
No, because we're not taking out the Torah, so
Okay. So I'll try this.
you're good.
Vayomru b'nei Yisrael al Moshe lemor ein kavanu avanu kulanu avanu kol hakorei Mishkan Adonai Yamod Ha'im Tamnu L'Kvoah Vayar Adonai L'Haron Atah Uvanecha Uve'avicha Itach Tisu Et Hamikdash Atah Uvanecha Itach Tisu et Agan Nachem. That's good. Nachem. Okay, that's one. And then the second. Okay. V'gam et achecha matei levi shevet avicha orei mitach vayovu alecha Shartucha, V'ata uvanecha itach, Livnei ohel ha'edut, V'shamru mishmartecha, U'mishmeret kol ha'ohel, Klei ha'kodesh ve'et ha'mizbeach, Lo yigravu, V'lo yamutu gam heim, gam atem. V'yilvu alecha v'shamruhu et mishmeret ohel moed l'chol avodah ha'ohel v'zar lo Yikra Rav Aleichem. And number 3. Ushmartem Eit Mishmeret HaKodesh Ve'eit Mishmeret HaMizbeach V'lo Yiyeh Tetzev El B'nei Yisrael Va'ani Hine Lakachti Et Acheichem HaLevim Mitoch B'nei Yisrael Lachem Matanat Netuvim Vadonai La'avod Et Avodat Olam Moed V'ata Uvincha Ita Icha Tishmeru et Kehunatchem L'chol davar Mizbeach V'mibeit V'parochet V'avodatem Avodat Matana Etain et Kehunatchem V'hazar HaKarev Yubat.
Yashakoa.
That
was wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
That was really good for someone that didn't prepare.
Well, I'm not getting it out of the Torah. I'm also a bit of a mess. Our daughter's visiting California with the earthquakes. I really remember.
Oh,
yes.
And they're in San Diego now, but they're going to be driving up to Los Angeles. And I'm a little bit upset.
But the quakes are out near the Death Valley.
But they're,
No, they're still, they're
They're
feeling it in LA, but it's not really a,
no,
it's
it's,
not really a quake. The quake is in the Death Valley area, in the Mojave.
They said roads are, I don't know, so I'm sorry.
I'm looking for my notes.
oh, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, they're right here.
I know.
Brielle has them.
Oh, I knew it. Thank you.
She's
Okay.
like, turns around, she goes, oh, wait. I didn't see them.
Okay, so, the first thing, following the, we have read in Hebrew the verses through the third Aliyah. And so I would like to continue, to read in English, 4 more, sections. So we finished the required reading. And then I'd like to talk about the Parsha in more. We are on, I see. We are we're on chapter 18, page 870. Verse 14. We're on page 870. No, I guess we're on 871.
872.
872, but it's verse 14.
It says verse 14,
Yeah.
but we're skipping. Oh, okay, because they were short. All right, so maybe we should pick up where we left off
On 870?
on 870. Or, what was the last verse that you read? Do you know? Do you remember the two words?
Wait,
It wasn't Albany Israel, it was a little above that.
I don't know, sorry.
throw the paper away. Was it Atop? Atop? It was page 870, it was, okay, it was on, in the next page, it was 871, I think. That's, I don't know. I might be, this is, you can't see anything.
Okay, well, we can start on page 871, verse 8. And Cindy, if you read,
The Lord spoke further to Aaron, I hereby give you charge of my gifts, all the sacred donations of the Israelites. I grant them to you and to your sons as a perquisite, a due for all time. Every such offering to me as most holy sacrifices, namely every grain offering, purification offering, and reparation offering of theirs shall belong to you and your. You shall partake of them as most sacred donations. Only males may eat them. You shall treat them as consecrated.
thank you, Michael.
This too shall be yours, the gift offerings and the contributions, all the elevation offerings of the Israelites. I give to you, to the sons and to the daughters that are with you, as a due for all time. Every one of
Best of the new oil, wine, and grain, the choice parts that they present to the Lord, they give to you. Should I continue?
Yeah, continue.
The first fruits of everything in their land that they bring to the Lord shall be yours. Every one of your household was pure may be kept. Everything that has been prescribed in Israel shall be yours. Shall be yours. First issue of the womb, every being man or beast that is offered to the Lord shall be yours. But you shall have the firstborn of man with you, and you shall also have the firstling of impure animals with you. Take as their redemption price from the age of 1 month up, the money equivalent of 5 shekels by the sanctuary plate, which is 20 gerahs. But the firstlings of cattle, sheep, wash their blood against the altar to smoke as a gift for a taste to the Lord. Of your meat shall be yours. It shall be yours like the breast of elevation offering and like the right body.
I don't know how many of you have experienced Pidyon Aben within your families, but this is the origin of where that comes from. The firstborn male in your family is served in the temple, with the condition that they can be literally bought back from the Levites for a specific sum of money, so you can have your child back. And there are still families, we did, when our firstborn child was a son, we had a Pidyon Aben celebration. I guess you call it a celebration.
What's it called?
Pidyon Aben.
Pidyon Aben?
Pidyon Aben.
Aben.
I think is, and so we searched for a Kohen, and we found a man who was in his 90s, and he was a member of our congregation. The rabbi recommended him. He sat on this big chair in a social hall where my in-laws lived, and we had this ceremony that the rabbi carried on. We handed him the baby, and then we gave him 1 shekel in quotes,
the silver coin.
a silver dollar, and he gave us the baby back. So the baby did not have, of course, there is no temple for the baby to take care of, but, we went through the ceremony. And it was kind of we felt it was a nifty thing to do. And, this is where it's coming from. So Judy, if you'll continue on, verse 19.
All the sacred gifts that the Israelites set aside for the Lord, I give to you, to your sons, and to the daughters that are with you, as a due for all time. It shall be an everlasting covenant of salt before the Lord for you and for your offspring as well. And the Lord said to Aaron, you shall, however, have no territorial share amongst them or own any portion in their land. I am your portion and your share among the Israelites.
Robert, would you like to read?
I cannot see well.
Okay. Steve?
Into the Levites I hereby give all the tithes in Israel as their share of return for the services that they perform. The services of the tent of meeting. Henceforth Israelites shall not trespass on the tent of meeting, lest incur guilt and doubt. And the Levites shall perform the services of the tent of meeting. Others will incur guilt. It is the law for all time, for all the ages. But they shall have no territorial share among the Israelites. For it is the tithes set aside by the Israelites as a gift to the Lord, a gift to the Levites as their share. Therefore I have said concerning them, they shall have no territorial share among the Israelites.
Thank you. Cindy? Or Brielle?
25.
Okay.
25.
The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, speak to the Levites and say to them, when you receive from the Israelites their
Tithes.
tithes, which I have assigned to you as your share, you shall set aside from them 1/10 of the tithe as a gift to the Lord. This shall be accounted to you as your gift. As with the new grain from the threshing, the tithes on your part, set aside a gift for the Lord from all the tithes that you receive from the Israelites. And from them you shall bring the gift for the Lord to Aaron the priest. You shall set aside all gifts due to the Lord from everything that is donated to you. From each thing, its best portion, the part there.
You and your households may eat it with anywhere, for it is your redeeming. You will incur no guilt of the Israelites, lest you die.
The Levites had no land. When we come to other parts of the Torah and we talk about where the tribes are and the lands that they own, it's made clear that there is no land for the Levites. And that because it's made up with the contributions that are made, donations that are made to the temple, the temple, and that 10% of that goes to the Levites. So that's to make up for the fact that they don't have any land. It also, in some part, explains to me, and I'm just wanted to talk about that Aaron's two sons who were not paying special attention to the sacrifice, to these donations. Barbara, that's the beginning of the Sedra. Michael, can you begin reading?
Now Korah, son of Issachar, son of Kohath, son of Levi, betook himself along with Dathan and Abiram,
Abiram.
sons of Eliab, and On, son of Oleth, descendants of Reuben, to rise up against Moses, together with 250 Israelites, chieftains of the community.
Chosen, next page.
Chosen in the assembly, men of repute. They combined against Moses and Aaron and said to them, "You have gone too far, for all the community are holy, all of them, and the Lord is in their midst. Why then do you raise yourselves above the Lord?"
Thank you. Raise yourselves above the Lord's congregation. What does that mean? How would you interpret that? Anybody?
So it's more important than they're being accused of making themselves more important than the average Israelite.
Okay. Now turn to page 864. Verse 28. Which doesn't have a number.
And Moses.
Excuse me?
And Moses said.
Oh, there it is, thank you. And Moses said, okay, yeah. Rachel, page 864, in the middle of the English,
Twice.
and Moses said.
What's the fourth line?
28.
Okay, and Moses said, "By this you shall know that it was the Lord who sent me to do all these things, that they are not of my own devising. If these men die as all men do, if their lot be the common fate of all mankind, it was not the Lord who sent me. But if the Lord brings about something unheard of, so that the ground opens its mouth and swallows them up with all that belongs to them, and they go down alive into Sheol, you shall know that these men have spurned the Lord. Scarcely had he finished speaking in all these words when the ground under them burst asunder, and the earth opened its mouth and swallowed them up with their households, all Korah's people and all their possessions. They went down alive into Sheol with all that belonged to them. The earth closed over them, and they vanished from the midst of the congregation. All Israel around them fled at their shrieks, for they said, "The earth might swallow us." And the fire went forth from the Lord and consumed the 250 men offered incense.
Okay, thank you. Thank everybody who was reading. For good reason, this is considered one of the most dramatic parts of the Torah, I think, in that more than 250 people are killed with basically like an earthquake that only happened in one spot and didn't happen anywhere else except that one spot where they happen to be standing. And there's been a huge amount of rabbinic discussion about what actually happened and what the meaning of all of this was. And I have a couple of things that I would like to read in terms of these interpretations, but before I do that, I'd like to get some thoughts from you. What do you think is the purpose of Korah, of putting the story into the Torah? What are the Torah writers trying to impart? Cindy?
Well, for me, I just feel like it's a matter of faith. These people lost their faith. And after all that they've been through, after all that Moses has tried to do, and all he keeps repeating is just, believe in God, believe in God, believe in this. And I feel like they continue to question him, question God, question faith. And I know that a lot of it has to do with there being their mistrust. There's still, I always think about like they're still traumatized.
They're still the first generation.
They're still traumatized, yes. They're
Yeah.
still traumatized. They still don't have faith. They still haven't built up enough trust. And so they're vulnerable. So you get these people that just say, he thinks he's better and he thinks he's this, and he thinks he's that. And they will, like they're already vulnerable. So it's easy to get them riled up and easy to get them to go against God and Moses and that whole, and once again, Moses had to prove to them, have faith, have some faith. And I just think that's what is really important. I feel like it's in here to make us realize again that, we all need to have faith. And here's what happened to them when they lost their faith.
Or did they ever have it?
Or did they ever have it? But their vulnerability plays into this though. Very, to me it does.
Other thoughts?
I was thinking that it reflect, I don't think in terms of faith that much, unfortunately. I was thinking of it just like for politics. It's like everybody wants to have power. And they wanted power. And it's just like in politics today, or in relationships, or in anything. Many people have to have the upper hand, and they resent anybody else, and it's like it could be tough kind of thing. But I'm sure you're right about the faith part, that they had to have faith in Moses.
I think both of what you're saying, but the two of you are playing into it. Go ahead. I didn't mean to shut you
No,
off.
that's enough. That's it.
No, but I think you're right about the politics part too. I think you are right about that, is that people do want the upper hand, and when something else has the upper hand, what often happens? I think, the bullying, look at what's going on, look at them, or, how that all happens. I mean, we're seeing it today in politics, like we said. Trying to get people riled up and.
Can I add a little personalness?
Yes.
So our grandson, my other daughter, the one who was in Brooklyn, was here with her family, and left the grandson here because we're taking him to Mount Holyoke for an ultimate frisbee camp.
Oh.
And he asked us last night, do we think history is cyclical? Or, I remember the other word, like progressive. Oh, so I said, well, I think it's both. But anyway, I'm thinking now from that conversation, how much things are cyclical and how things repeat themselves. And the other thing I've been thinking about is the phenomenon of these dictators. And I was thinking everybody from Hitler to Stalin to now, I forget his name, in Venezuela. Why this keeps coming up? These horrible dictators of North Korea, absolute power. And this keeps coming back. Why? Sorry, that was my critical.
No, I think that's right into what's happening in the Torah.
Yeah, it does. And how even back I guess back then, wasn't well, I guess kind of a dictator. And
Well,
Moses-
Pharaoh was a god, so,
According to him.
no, according to centuries of him, not just him, you know, he was, the pharaohs were gods, and thought themselves to be
Right,
gods. And there are other cultures that have believed they're God. And that's, another way to kind of look at it. Many of the rabbis who write about Korah may make a comment about arguing. Korah is arguing with God through Moses, and Moses is arguing back, and one of the commentators feel that, including Rambam and Maimonides, that Korah is pretty much what you described. He's not thinking Israel. He's really not even thinking about God. He's thinking about himself and the power that he wants to yield, that he thinks Moses has. So and Moses is saying, this is not coming from me. That's in some of the part that we read just now. I'm simply a conduit. God is telling me what to do and telling me where to go. And so it's not me. I am simply saying what God has been telling me. And Korach says, no, you're the, you think you're so great, you and Aaron, you're doing all of this, and so this argument goes back and forth, and the rabbis make a distinction about argument, and I'd like to read a little bit. These quotations that I'm reading are coming from Jonathan Sacks, who used to be the chief rabbi of Great Britain. I don't know if it's Great Britain or just England. Michael, do you know, is it it's not the entire Commonwealth? Great Britain, so it's not the whole, just but the Great Britain part of it. Yeah, I think so also, yeah. But he's retired now, and there's somebody else in that position. And we're not used to having sort of national great rabbis. It's not really in the American tradition, but it is in the British.
Both have a head of the Church of England.
Yeah, so they have the head of the Jewish. So and he does an awful lot of writing, and he is very respected. And he says, what matters in Judaism is why the argument was undertaken and how it is conducted. An argument not for the sake of heaven. Now that he uses this phrase, and I think it may also be a Yiddish or a Hebrew phrase. Argument for the sake of heaven, it has to do with God and with love and with faith. So he says an argument not for the sake of heaven is one that is undertaken for the sake of victory, for the sake of winning, for the sake of power. The argument for the sake of heaven is undertaken for the sake of truth. When the aim is victory, as it is in the case of Korah, both sides are diminished. Korah dies, and Moses' authority has tarnished a little. But when the aim is truth, when both sides gain, and he uses the example of Hillel and Shammai. They argued continually, but they both were arguing for the sake of truth. And there are many instances where Shammai basically says, okay, you're right. And that's the end of the argument. Actually, I think there are 3 or 5 times when Hillel says you're right. But all the other 100-something times, it's the other way around. In where Korach is concerned, Rabbi Sachs goes back to Hillel and Shammai and uses the arguments between them when they're on, as a counterpoint to the way Korach is arguing with Moses and through Moses arguing with God. So I thought that was just a very interesting way to look at it, that when you're arguing simply for the sake of truth with no power involved, you're arguing in the way that Judaism and God would want you to argue. And when you're arguing the way Korach is arguing and the way many of our politicians are arguing today, unfortunately, you're arguing for power. So I thought that was an interesting take on what was said. Any comments to those last comments? Okay, then we
I think
can.
it's a very Jewish thing to argue.
Oh, it is.
I can remember growing up, and I swear, my uncle argued for sport. It was like a sport for him.
Oh, yeah,
He
yes.
would have these
Yeah.
fantastic arguments and with, and most of the time political views, and it was, at every family function or holiday or whatever, it was always afterwards when they were all having coffee, the adults were all having coffee, and then there would be a spirited argument over something, and it was always something. My mother would laugh. She goes, "Oh, here they go again." Here they go. And
everybody's arguing all the time.
yeah,
Yes, that's
So
true.
lots of
Oh, yes.
strangers are starting to argue.
Yeah.
It's just so
Yes.
amazing.
yeah. And my brother, as he got
It's true.
older, one of my brothers would start it sometimes and then walk away a little bit. Just like a spark. He would bring up a topic and then smirk and walk away because that's all my uncle needed to get it going. And then they'd all chime in, and there's my brother smirking.
That's great. Okay, Brielle, would you like to come front and center? We're on page 182.
Eloheinu, ein Adonenu, ein Kamokeinu, ein Moshienu, mi Eloheinu, mi Adonenu, mi Kamokeinu, mi Moshienu, Nodel Eloheinu, Nodel Adonenu, Nodel Elokeinu, Nodel Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu, Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu, Atahu Shetiru, Avotenu, Lefanecha, and Kataratosami. Aleinu l'shavim. Oh, sorry.
Page 183.
Aleinu l'shabeach Adon hakol, v'tegedu lo yotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kigoyer haratzot, v'lo samanu mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu b'hem, Vigor Aleinu, Kichomonam, V'anachnu Korim, Umishtahamim, Umodim, Lifnei Melech, Malchei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Shehu Notei Shamayim, V'yosei Haaretz, U'Moshe Karo B'Shamayim Ima'al, U'Shvina Tuzo, V'Gavei Merohim, Hu Eloheinu Einod, Emet Malkeinu Efes Ulato, Kan Katuv B'Torato, V'yadata Hayom Ve'ashevoto El Elohecha, Ki Adonai Hu Elohim, V'Shamayim Ima'al, V'yal haaretz mitachat einod.
Okay. Katuv b'Torasecha, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, v'ne'emar, v'haya Adonai, le'melech al kol haaretz, v'yom hahu, yiyeh Adonai echad, U'Shemo echad, U'Shemo echad. I'd especially like to thank Judy for sharing the Torah reading with us, and you may not think it was good, but we thought it was terrific.
It was.
So we are very
It was.
thankful.
And Joan, we need to discuss it.
Yay.
Yay, Joan! Woo-hoo!
And,
And leading the service.
I'm now beginning to realize how hard it is to be a rabbi. And I'd also like to thank you for helping with the service. I mean that honestly. I was hoping that some people would come who knew a little tunes or some things that I was not familiar with, and it worked out very well. We're very grateful that you were willing to do that with us.
I'm here to do it.
Excuse me?
I'm happy I'm here to do it.
Well, we are too. Just a couple of short announcements. I think I hope everyone who has a computer has received the newsletter. It has come out, and a week from today, that's next Shabbat, the Resnicks are sponsoring a Kiddush. The Resnicks are never here they're away every single weekend in the year for whether they're right now's the time to be in the Berkshires. The rest of the year they're in Florida. They're not ever here on weekends, but they do want to feel like they are participating in some way. And so occasionally they sponsor a Kiddush in absentia. So next Saturday is such a Kiddush. They have sponsored the Kiddush for next Shabbat in honor of
The Greatest Generation.
The Greatest Generation, in
And-
honor of the Greatest Generation.
And Jimmy.
And we have within our congregation, we have two people who are veterans of World War II. One is Jimmy Eisenstock, who many of you have met, And the other is Harry Wolf, who is really not able to, he has Alzheimer's and it's getting worse and worse. So he isn't, although we will try and see if he could possibly come next week, but I wouldn't bet on it. But anyway, so it also happens, next Saturday also happens to be a day away from Jimmy's 98th birthday. So the Kiddush will be in honor of the greatest generation and also in honor of Jimmy's birthday. So we hope that all of you will be here and be able to celebrate with him. So that, and also Max will be leading the service. So we'll be in good hands.
We'll be in better shape than we were today.
Yes. But okay. So is there anybody else that has an announcement that they?
Just a reminder of save the date, and you'll have to remind me of the date, the picnic,
August 18th.
August 18th.
Yeah, the picnic.
Just to
is
save
August.
the date.
Yep. That's what I'm asking
Yeah,
for you.
we'll be getting our flyers. We'll be getting our flyers soon.
Yeah.
So, okay. So does anyone have a tune for a Don alum that they would love to use?
Asher Malach, B'terem Kol Yitzir Nira Adon Olam, Li'et Nasa V'Hefsa Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol Yitzir Nira, Li'et Nasa V'Hefsa Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, V'Yacharei Kichol Takol, Levado Yimloch Nara Adon Olam, V'hu Haya, V'hu Hoveh, V'hu Yiyeh V'tikara Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Asher Malach, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, B'terem Kol, Yitzir Nivra, Li'et Nasa, V'Hefsa Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nivra Adon Olam, V'hu Echad, V'yein Sheni, L'ham Shelo V'hachbira Adon Olam, V'li Reshit, V'li Tachlit, V'lo Ha'oz V'ham Mishra Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yitzir Nivra, Li'et Nasa, Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, V'hu Eli, V'chai Goali, V'tzor Heli V'yetzara Adon Olam, V'hu Nisi, Umanosli, Manakosi B'yom Ekra Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yitzir Nivra, Li'et Nasa, Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, Yado Avki Bruchi, V'yetishan V'ya'ira Adon Olam, V'yimruchi Gaviyati, Adon Ali V'lo Ira Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yitzir Nivra, Li'et Nasa V'Hefsa Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam. Shabbat Shalom, everybody here, everyone at home, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat, 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 Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shalom, Shabbat, Shalom, hey, Shabbat, Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat.